you didn't. Why did you
did.
do that? I hate you.
Hello, everybody. This sun is being really aggressive this morning. I'm gonna like move this way. Also, don't mind my chair full of laundry behind me. You don't look at it.
Don't mind me not being ready.
Hello.
Hello. How are y'all?
How are we doing on this fine
Wednesday morning? Oh, the lighting here for me is also kind of rough. I don't know if y'all can see my face or not, but I just have the sun blaring in from the side here.
I'm gonna be blinded by the end of this live.
How is everyone? Hello, hello, hello. That was really a chaotic 30 seconds for me. Settling into the live.
But now we're here.
We're here. We are ready. We typically wait about 10 minutes to allow people to join. So we're a little chatty in the beginning, and then we actually will get started talking about
her.
Reaper in the Gates. Her. Love her.
It's her. Like Vanna White. Beautiful.
Wow.
Vanna must have added some new little hand movements. I haven't seen those.
Oh my goodness.
All right, that's enough of that. So.
We're off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, I feel like these first 2 minutes, it'll calm down from here. We're ready to get into it.
Have you had anything that you've been reading lately?
Well, I recently started Feybound for my Patreon book club. I think I'm liking it so far. I don't think it's going to be a favorite, but it's pretty interesting, I think.
Okay.
What about you?
Ranger's Apprentice.
Well, I think
surprise.
I could ask you that question any point in time ever, and you're probably going to be in the middle of a Ranger's Apprentice book.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm thinking about starting Jade City today.
Ooh.
Or The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson.
The Emperor's Soul is a good one, but I've also heard really good things about Jade City.
I know. I'm excited. I'm filming my reset video today, so that's been my priority. So I'm going to do a little bit of journaling later, and then I might start my book if I have time.
Very fun, very fun.
I'm excited to set up my April spread. I picked out my stickers and my color palette. Ooh. Going for some blues.
Can we get a sneaky peek of the stickers?
They're a little out of reach. But they're blue. I feel like blue is very in sync with April.
That is unhelpful information, though.
Yeah,
like, if they're blue.
You're welcome. Someone asked, have you read or are planning to read the 2 graphic novel prequels that go with the Ember and the Ashes series?
I'm not sure if I will.
I probably won't. I don't think... I'm trying to think of the art style. I think I'm thinking of the wrong...
I think they always, like, pictures of them always pop up when I'm looking for the book covers of this series on, like, Google Images, and I don't think I like the art style of them.
No. Yeah, okay. Did I read this one? No, I think I almost read it a few years back. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you probably haven't seen, but Marissa Myers has a prequel. No, not a prequel. Like a sequel.
I know the thing you're talking
about. The geographic novel, and the art style looks very similar, and I wasn't a big fan, so probably not. Are we going to get a sneak peek of the next series we're going to read? Did I post it?
I actually announced it earlier this morning.
I was like, didn't I post that today?
I am going to announce it later. But we could just tell you guys because it is live. We are reading is it the Devabad trilogy?
Devabad, yeah.
By S.A. Chakraborty. I'm quite excited.
I'm excited as well. So we'll be starting City of Brass in May.
Giving you guys some time to acquire books if you would like to join.
I'm so excited. I haven't read anything by Shannon Chakraborty, but for my Patreon book club, I'm doing The Adventures of Amina El-Sarafi. So I'm just going to get all the doses of Chakraborty's writing in like the span of 2 months.
Yeah. Yes, you're really going to find out if you like her writing style.
Oh, I'm going to find out for sure. Think it'll be fun. I've heard, well, Katie and I have both heard amazing things about this series, and we were just really excited to have this as our next series. So I'm hoping everyone enjoys it, and it's a good series.
I feel like it's a fantasy series that I just always see people talk about, but like it's never actually occurred to me to pick it up. But it's finally time.
It's gonna happen because it must.
It must. There's no choice now. We've already announced it. So.
Yeah. No backing down now. But our next series, it's gonna be. We actually changed it from what it originally was to something else. Shall we give them like a little bit of a hint?
Okay.
It's a reread for both of us.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy, but it is a reread for both of us as well.
Yeah. Yes, in the comments, but we're not gonna say anything.
We got that poker face on. Oh my goodness. Someone asked, any plans for Anne of Green? I always forget that I can pop comments up. Any plans for Anne of Green Gables? I think we both have that on our spring TBR. Yes.
It is indeed. I'll read it eventually. The only problem right now for me is that I'm not in a spring mood. Like I want to pick up spring books right now for some reason.
It honestly, it does not feel like spring. I was for my my shop where I sell my art, I have like freebies that go with the seasons, and I was still packing winter stickers, and then I was like, wait, it's spring. What am I on about?
What's going on?
What's going on? It's only been 10 days though. Isn't spring the 16th, 17th?
It's only been 9 days. It started on the 19th.
The 19th. Okay.
Someone said, me not even in the book club, but here I am. Is this a Patreon-only book club? No, this is not a Patreon-only book club. This is the Wyverns and Words book club that literally anybody could join. I don't think there's a link to it in the description, even though there should be.
I was about to say that you did not link it. There's a link in like any, like either of our, any like, oh my gosh, words?
Yeah.
Video descriptions.
Yeah. It's free to join. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. We started this before we even started our Patreons. Almost 2 years ago.
This book club has been going on for a long time.
Going strong.
Maybe I can go like find a link and put it in the description.
I was like, Katie, look at this. This is the consequences of your own actions.
Guys, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm just going to go copy the link that you put in your recent post.
Is there what did you put in the description? Did you just put a smiley face?
I have your links in the description.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice. What did you put in the other, like, last description? Do you remember what you put? We thought it was so funny.
For what? Like
one of our live streams.
Ember in the Ashes live?
Was it Ember in the Ashes? You put something in the description.
I know I called her Reading Sprinterinos at one point.
That's what it was. Okay. I was like, what was it, though? We thought was the funniest thing.
Okay. There should be a link to the book club if anybody wants to join. You might have to refresh the page, but it should be there now under this live. I'll just assume it's there.
Hopefully it's there.
I always feel like I never make the Discord links right because they always expire.
Discord had a weird update where like wouldn't let you make links that didn't expire, and then one day randomly the links then started not expiring again. I got nothing.
Discord confuses me still. I've been using it for like a couple years now, but I'm still just like, how do I work Discord?
I'm baffled by the technology.
Anyway, Cass, how is work going?
Work is going. Work is good. So I'm a flight attendant, and I've been home for one day within a week and a half. So it's been a little hectic, but it's been fun. Haven't had anyone too unruly that I had conflict with, so it's been okay. I've been to some cool places. That's about it. But I'm tired. I'm so happy. Today's my day off, and then I'm on for the rest of the month. But I'm like, peace knowing that they cannot call me and be like, hey, we need you.
Like, haha, joke's on them.
Joke's on you.
God.
Oh, Katarina says, I confirm. The link is there. Yay!
Oh, yes. I will try to remember to put it in all of them from now on. I just copied and pasted from our last live, so really, it's me from like 2 months ago. It's her fault.
Okay, so I feel like if you copy and paste this time, it'll be there, so it'll be fine.
Theoretically. Like, it should be.
Theoretically. How long have we been running this to still not have our shit together?
Oh man, it's rough. It's rough. I feel like I always see like other YouTubers who run book clubs. It seems like they always have their shit together, and I'm just like, how?
And it's 2 of us as well, so it's like double the opportunity to be organized, and yet there's always something that we're missing.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of random, but I'm trying to help us not have an awkward silence. We weren't even having an awkward silence.
Yeah, hold on, Sandra.
How dare you?
What is up with that? I mean, the first 2 minutes. You should have asked the question within the first 2 minutes, because that was the awkward silence.
Yeah, come on. I feel like we were kind of like on a roll now. It's all good.
How many piercings do you have? What an interesting question.
Okay. I have my triples on my lobes, and then I have 2 helix piercings on this ear. What about you?
I just have 2 piercings on my lobes and a little nose piercing. I used to have a lot more. I used to have my cartilage. I used to have my tragus. No. Yes? Is it the tragus? Like the little inside part of your ear? Or not the inside, but like, yeah, that's the tragus, right?
I have no clue.
Crap. I think it's the tragus. I feel like, am I getting it mixed up with another piercing? I don't know. I used to have 3 holes in my lobes. But for work, we're not allowed an excess amount of piercing, so I have like the bare minimum that we are allowed. I just let the rest of them close up, basically. So
have confirmed that this is your tragus.
Okay. Oh, you know what I was getting it mixed up with was conch, because I debated getting my conch pierced, but then I was like, that looks really, really painful.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get my conch pierced for a long time on like this side, because I was like, it'll balance out my piercing so nicely. But then every time I like feel this part of my ear, I'm like, it's so thick.
Yeah. But you can just wear little like cuffs and they look good anyways.
I used to wear like a cuff in high school, and then somebody asked me if it was a real piercing, and I got embarrassed, and I never wore it again.
Nice. On that note, let's start discussing.
Oh yeah.
A Reaper at the Gates.
Time to actually get into the book club discussion.
If you have not finished this book,
we're going to be talking spoilers real fast here, so
yep.
Continue at your own peril.
Continue at your own peril. Turn away while you still can.
Honestly.
But regardless, thanks for dropping in to say hi. We always have nonsensical conversations for the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, my mom just sent me a photo of her watching my video. I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait, that's so funny.
Wait, no, it's my dog watching my video. Wait, I don't know. She's right here.
Khalees is so cute.
Wait. Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry. We're talking about Reaper at the Gates.
All right. All right. Most important question. What do we all rate it?
Yes, star ratings. Drop your star rating. Mel's, that's such a mood.
There's always a couple of them that are like, I finished this book 30 seconds before the live started.
Honestly, I love that energy though, because just like the commitment to be able to join the live just warms my little heart.
Yeah, I appreciate that immensely.
Now, Katie, I know you no longer rate books, but if you were to rate this, what's the vibe?
It's probably like a 4-star. Maybe like a really high 3-star.
All right. There's a lot of 4s in the chat right now.
You know? Because I feel like I gave if I were to rate the other books, I would give the first 2 4 stars. But this one was like a little bit less
Okay.
than the first 2, but not much less.
Okay.
See,
I
this
gave
is why
it a
don't rate
3.5
What?
myself. I gave it a 3.5 myself.
I was
Sorry.
just talking over you. I just keep
We're talking over each other.
I just keep yammering. I'm sorry. So, basically the same rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it less than the others, and the others are definitely solid 4 stars. Hence the 3.5, 3.5, 3.75, but we'll just say 3.5.
So, Katie, it's a 3.99 stars. It might be a 3.99 stars. See, this is why I don't rate things anymore. I'm just like, what? I don't feel like, giving it a 3.99 rating.
I had a crisis in my last vlog when I was trying to rate Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and I was like, 4.5. Wait, no, 5? Wait, no, hold on.
Hold on.
And I was like, I get why Katie doesn't rate books anymore, because it was a whole crisis.
Honestly, I felt so free after I gave up rating books. It's so nice. I hand out my 5 stars to my favorites, and then the rest of them I'm just like, I don't know.
The vibes were good.
I'll tell you why I liked it, why I didn't like it. But you need to know anything else.
Lots and lots and lots of 4 stars.
I feel like we're all
I feel like we're all enjoying it kind of pretty levelly.
Yeah.
Like it's no one's like favorite, but it's a solid series. I don't even know where to start with this book. So much happened.
Yeah.
Where should we begin? What reveal should we talk about? Because there's so much.
I feel like maybe the most important reveal of the book we could start with first, which I would say would be the fact that Laya's mother is alive and is Cook.
See, one of my I guess that's a pretty big reveal.
I feel like
my big reveal thought was like the Helene having the last piece of the star. That was like, what?
Honestly, I kind of like brushed right over that information. I was just like, okay, cool.
Fair enough. I feel like the lead up to Cook being Laya's mom, for me, was pretty obvious. I was gaslighting myself so hard in the last 2 books, though, because I thought it was going to be revealed way earlier. And I was like, wait, so she's not Laya's mom? Because why don't we know this already? And then it was finally the 3rd book in which it was revealed.
See, I've been listening to this series, like, primarily on audio, so I haven't been, like... I don't think I've been in it enough to really see a lot of these things coming. So, like, when they happen, I'm like, oh, that's a reveal. That's a fun reveal.
It's interesting, though, how I feel like it's traumatizing. Like, for Laya to, find out that her mom's alive, have that hope, only for her mom to not even really want anything to do with her.
Yeah.
And she's a completely different person.
Yeah. Especially after, like, all the things that she's been hearing about her mother. And she's like, no, my mother could never be like that. But, like, she finally gets an opportunity to see her again. And she's like, oh, maybe she is like that.
Especially with the fact that she killed her child.
That.
And her husband.
I was, like, gasping. Like, mouth open, staring at the wall. I was like.
That was baffling.
That really was baffling.
I can't even imagine like someone doing that to their child. Like, it makes sense because they're being tortured, right? That's not something that you want to be hearing. And there was a chance of them surviving, yes, but very slim, especially with the commander? Commandant? Is that really what it is?
Yeah.
Wow, I really auto-corrected this entire book in my head then. Yeah, just the trauma that she went through and the way it changed her character, insane.
Yeah.
But insane.
Yeah, that really is insane. I guess it would make sense that she's now this completely different person after going through something like so harrowing. It's like it makes sense, but it still makes me sad that she's so like detached from Laya when she like actually gets brought into the story.
Yeah. I really thought with this that there were going to be some sort of like rekindling of their relationship, some sort of happy reunion, and not a I want nothing to do with you. Like, what even is her mom's name? Oh my gosh.
I'm blanking on her mom's name too.
I'm blanking so hard. Anyway, the lioness is no more, and now she is Cook. And it's interesting too because it reminds me of. It's interesting. Well, the way that Laya wanted some sort of like attachment to Cook, and yet Cook gave that attachment almost to Izzy instead of her. I thought that was really interesting.
I think it all just makes me really sad.
Yeah. That was a rough scene to read, and you would hope that like it wasn't true and that the Jinn were just trying to mess with Laya, but then when it's all revealed,
I feel like if it did turn out to not be true, I feel like that would have been like an awful like thing to just add in there. Like make you as a reader go through it and then you're like, actually, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.
But I think one of my biggest complaints about this book, about why I didn't love it as much as the other books, is while I enjoy authors, I enjoy Sabatahir's writing in which she really does make her characters go through it. Like, there is not a single moment in which these characters are not going through it. And that's my problem. I feel like this is repetitive and predictable in a way because we know at the end of every single chapter, their plans are not going to work. They're going to be thwarted. Someone's going to die. Something major is going to happen. Their attempts are going to be in vain. There were no wins. I can't think of a single time in this book where a character had a decent outcome.
Yeah.
And something actually going their way.
No, I agree. I feel like it's kind of just like, it's just hit after hit after hit. And there's like no redeeming, like, why should I keep reading this? Like, if they're just going to keep being put in these awful situations, like, you need a couple of wins throughout the book, I feel, to keep you as a reader like, oh, yeah, that's so, like, let's go, hope for the future. But, like, there is no hope for the future right now.
There's not a shred of hope.
Yeah.
So that's the major complaint for me is just, yes, I've read, like, you know, depressing books where the characters are going through it. Sorry, the dog started barking outside really loud. Scared me. Where the characters are going through it, but there's always some sort of hope, some sort of win at the end where it's not completely predictable, where it's like, okay, they've had a win in the past. Will this be an opportunity where they have another win? But with this book, it's like, okay, no, still no. For every single one of the characters, Helene thinking she's one step ahead, one step behind. The Nightbringer, as much as I love the Nightbringer, I want him to be thwarted at least once. And I want that not to be in vain, because I was so excited when she finally was like able to commit to a plan, which was to steal Helene's ring. I was like, yes, the Nightbringer doesn't know. He didn't show up. And then he shows up and he's like, psych, bitch. I was like, give these characters a single opportunity, please.
I feel like the like antagonists in this series are like just way too OP, and it's also kind of like playing into everything that you're saying, because the Commandant, she's always going to get you. You think she's not going to get you, she's going to get you. The Nightbringer, think he's not going to get you, he's going to get you. The Jinn, in general, they're going to get you. Everybody's going to get, like, you cannot outmaneuver these people, and it's just being shown in this book through everything that's happening.
See, but on the same token, when you think about it, all of these characters have lived for like hundreds of years. So it also makes sense that they're smarter. Right, but she's kind of being led by the Nightbringer. So, I mean, other than her, sure, we'll say other than her, but they have all these years of experience. So it also makes sense that these, like, what are they, 16, 17, 18-year-olds are being thwarted left and right when they're, 16 to 18. But it still is like
you need something going right for them to keep you invested in the series, or else you're kind of just like, well, what's the point if like everything sucks? I'm sure not everything is going to suck in the end. Like, I do think these things are going to get resolved, but in the last book, and I feel like in this book, it's just been a lot of pain. And I feel like that is the point of the series, but it's still just like, it's not my favorite thing to read about.
Someone says, I had trouble with the lack of mourning for Izzy, the other slave of the Commandant. I think, yeah, we didn't really touch much on that, but at the same time, with everything that Laya's going through, I think she's just still in a pit of grief and not able to even separate all this, like, shit being thrown at her. First, it was being betrayed by Keenan, and then it was Izzy's death, and then it was everything that happened in this book.
Yeah.
So I think she's just not even able to like compartmentalize her grief. And then on top of everything, like her mother. So I feel like maybe that's why we didn't have too much time to explore that sort of side character. But someone says, I feel like this book felt a bit more hopeful than the others, like Helene's sister having the baby and not dying. I feel like that finally gave me something good. Yes, in a sense, but I feel like that was so minor because at the same time, you as a reader is like, do we really want like the child of Marcus to be the next ruler? But then when he died, I was like, yes. I actually had to like flip back because I was like, wait, he's dead? Wait.
Hate to see it.
Oh, a tragedy.
Darn.
It wasn't like a redemption at the end, but him being humanized a little bit was interesting. I thought we would dive more into Zach and maybe see him more as like a ghost, but
yeah, I was kind of hoping we would get a little bit more with that as well, because we saw a lot of him going through it and just talking to himself, but it was all through Helene's point of view. So
yeah,
although I guess I don't really want to mark his POV, so
yeah. I thought we would have got them more in like the waiting place. Like they would have caused havoc there. Like, look, you defeated me, but you can't, squash me from beyond the grave. Yeah. But Elias was like, suffer. Okay, move on.
Let's go. See, Helene, I feel like her character arc and getting to spend more time with her was the best part of this book for me. I feel a lot of sympathy towards her than I did in the beginning of the series. Absolutely agree. I feel like in this book specifically, Helene's point of view was my favorite part, just because I feel like with her, like it's kind of the most interesting point of view going on right now because of like where she is in the Empire and what you get to learn through her point of view and kind of like the internal struggle that she's also going through, seeing all these awful things happening.
And with those struggles, I think she's had the most amount of character development because in the beginning, it was very much for the Empire. And yet she still has that point of view, yet she has gone like through so much and has way more sympathy, I feel. Laya, ironically, I feel like has gone through the least amount of character development. I feel like she's still so similar to how she was in the beginning. She's just gone through the most in terms of trauma. Well, I don't know. Helene's whole family being murdered and Elias being literally dead. So maybe they've all just gone through it.
Yeah, I agree that like Laya's had the least amount of character development in my opinion. Like there's definitely been some. I think she's a bit stronger. She's been through a lot of things which would obviously alter her as a person, but I felt like for most of this book, it was kind of one note. She was kind of just, doing her thing, trying to free the scholars. I was like, I love that for you. But like, can we do a little bit more? So like when it was revealed that Cook was her mother, I was like, okay, cool. Finally something like a little bit more interesting happening like in her point of view. But for like the beginning of part of the book, her POV just wasn't like my favorite, when in past books it has been like one of my favorites. So
how do we feel about Elias? I think I said Sanchez says, I'm very salty by the lack of Elias POV. There was definitely not enough.
I don't like Elias, like where Elias's story has gone. I don't enjoy it. I think it's boring. Which pains me to say.
I actually enjoy Elias's point of view. I wish we got more time with Sheva because I feel like we had so many interactions in the last book, yet not enough to really get to know her and fully delve into like her past and how it brought her to where she is today. But the entire situation with the waiting place is so interesting. But on the same token, I understand where you're coming from because every time we go to the waiting place, it feels so disattached from the main plot line. It very much feels like Laya and Helene, they're in the same sort of like polar opposites working towards the same goal. And then Elias is all the way over here just kind of doing his own little thing. There's not a lot of overlap between any of the characters, but Elias feels so much more displaced.
I think I really like Elias as a character. I just don't like where his like story went. But I think one of my main issues with this book as well is the fact that, like you said, that the POVs are so separate from one another. I feel like I really love it in fantasy stories when they start out with like all the separate POVs and then like they come together and like they do something. I don't know. But in this one, I feel like they have only separated more as the series has gone on. And I'd like to see more of them together. And like I don't know if that's going to happen in this series with the way that things are going, but that's generally what gets me to really like enjoy characters and stuff, like when they're like they have these interesting dynamics with each other. Like you have Lia and Elias who have like their relationship, whatever. But I just wish there was more overlap between them all. And I feel like that would inherently make me enjoy the characters more and then like care a little bit more about what they're going through.
Especially with multiple POVs. That's always the most exciting part, is when the POVs overlap. When you get Lia's point of view when she was captured by Helene, and then Helene's point of view capturing Lia. Like, yes, absolutely. But there's really not these. And that's another thing. The world just feels too vast, and the waiting place just feels almost like a little shortcut, like a plot convenience. Like, okay, we need the characters to get like all the way over here, so we're gonna like go through this magical forest to do so. And I feel like they've just been using it as a shortcut versus it could be so much more.
Yeah.
They haven't really felt
traveling. I love a good traveling moment. Like literally.
Little shortcut moment.
No shortcuts. Like actual traveling.
Elias's POV was a bit repetitive. Yeah, it was like, let go of your humanity. I don't want to let go of my humanity. I love my tribe. Let go of your humanity. Okay, we gotta let go of our humanity. But I love Lia. Okay, now I like. It's like, boy.
I'm so sad I didn't care for Elias's POV in this book.
Yeah, it seems like most of you feel the same about Elias's POV. So says, I agree, Helene's point of view in this book was my fave, and Elias was my least favorite, which is interesting since it basically swapped from the first few books. Yeah, because Helene's like storyline is the most interesting. There's like the most going on, and her being in it, it's great.
Hey, that's okay with me. I like Helene as a character a lot. I think she's probably the most interesting right now to follow.
Absolutely. I did hope the book would start describing the world more. Not just the cities, but the environment for a good traveling moment.
See, we all want the traveling moment. I feel like traveling stories do so much for the plot. Like, it doesn't have to be like a whole thing, but like, it could really help to expand the world. Expand character relationships and development and dynamics. I just want the traveling moment.
If you're looking for a good series with some traveling moments.
Oh my god, you're going to recommend
Rangers Apprentice.
I know.
Elias was my favorite character when I started the series, but I agree his storyline right now isn't my fave. He's not really himself, which I understand why, but like, no. Yeah. His entire like merging, I don't know if I like that word, merging with Moth is interesting.
Maybe don't add the hand gesture.
It's an interesting plot line, but it strips away his humanity and who he was as a character. So it's very similar in which Cook was a character that we knew, but then getting to know someone mentioned her name earlier and I already forgot it. What was it? Anyways, someone's gonna say it again to help me out and I'm gonna forget again. But the lioness, how they become almost two separate characters even though they are the same person. It feels very similar in Elias's arc as well, where he was this one character and now he is a completely different character. Mira, thank you. It was Mira.
Let's see. Someone said, how do you feel about Lia's brother? I feel like we worked so hard to get him back and he was not contributing to the story. I feel exactly the same way. Because like the entire first book and part of the second book was just like Lia being like, oh my god, I need my brother back. Like, I can't do anything unless I like go rescue him from the prison. Never seen this book. He was here for like 3 seconds. And then he just went off to make some more weapons. Like, give me more. Just a little bit more.
I'm honestly shocked that we didn't get a Darren POV. I feel like that would have been such a nice addition to the story. It didn't even need to be like that many POVs, even like 3, like 1 per part or something, just to explore more of his character, more of his grief and what he's been through and his reasoning, because we don't really get to see the reasoning because Laya wasn't really pushing her brother to have these conversations. And again, their relationship felt so different. Yes, Darren went through so much, and yes, Laya has gone through so much before they were reunited, but from how much Laya sacrificed and went through to rescue her brother, you would think that they would have a deeper relationship even after all the trauma that they endured. And yet there's nothing between them. We focus almost too much on like Elias and Laya's little relationship versus the relationship that forged the entire plot of this series and the entire start of this series, and how Laya became the character that she is was for her brother. And yet there's nothing, like, we don't go into it.
Done with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse says, I'm interested to see how the storyline combines in the 4th book. It feels like a lot to wrap up in one more book.
Yeah.
We have so many characters.
So many different, very vastly different situations going on. I'm like, is the 4th book going to be messy? I don't know.
Especially with the Commandant still being out and about in a menace. That is one thing I don't understand, is why Helene didn't just fucking assassinate her already. They were so worried about it making it look like an assassination. Why? You can just turn the story, like, the oh my God. Commandant. I cannot work.
You know, whatever you want to.
The commander. We're gonna go with the commander because the English is not working today.
Harris.
He has twisted so many of her narratives to fit her desires. I don't understand why Helene couldn't just stab her and then twist the story. Because how's the commander going to defend anything? She's dead.
Yeah.
But they kept her alive, and I feel like in the 4th book, having 2 antagonists, along with all the other, wars and plot lines going on, there's a lot. So it's gonna be interesting.
There's just so much to wrap up, and I think the last book is a bit longer, but not that much longer. So
yeah,
definitely very interested to get into it and just see how everything goes.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
Same with Helene's sister. I really like. She's one of the characters that I actually like. One of the side characters that I really like, and I wish we did. I know it makes no sense to have a POV, but even like a bonus POV, I think would have been really interesting.
I kind of feel like getting her through Helene's point of view worked for me. Like, I feel like I don't need anything more from her almost, which sounds awful, and I don't mean it in that way, but like, I like what she added to the story, but I feel like I don't need more from her.
Her strength is crazy. Like, she's also gone through almost a different type of trauma with this abusive partner who she was forced to birth his child, and constantly at threat from like assassins and our main antagonists. So again, none of these characters can catch a fucking break.
No. Even the side characters.
I mean, they killed off Izzy, so we should have known.
May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace.
Honestly, when like right after she had the child, and I think Helene handed the child to Marcus, I was like 75% expecting him to snap its neck. I was like,
okay,
take the child back, Helene. Do not give him the child.
That would have been horrible.
I was stressing. It only lasted like 5 seconds, but I was like, hand it back. Hand it back to her.
Give it back. I was really shocked that they killed Marcus in this one. But I'm glad they did, because if they had to focus on that plot on top of everything else in the next book,
way too much.
I don't know. Way too much.
I feel like the unrest that this will cause will probably be a good backdrop for everything that has to happen in the 4th book. So I think it makes sense that they did it at the end of this one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you have any other
Sandra, you can ask a weird question now. You can ask a weird question now. The awkward silence is upon us. Come back. I lost my water bottle. Just gonna
get a sip.
There's no water left in this water bottle. Just ice. Did they ever really explain his brother's ghost besides their finale in the waiting place? No. Not really.
It would have been a little more explained.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Especially because of how prominent he was without really being prominent.
Yeah. Like
through
his
Marcus.
Impact, but his lack of presence, insane.
Literally insane. It felt very all of a sudden. That whole thing wrapped up so quickly.
Yeah.
Sanchez, I have been summoned. My internet's having issues, so Katie is frozen on my side, hence my pause. So
you were staying.
Okay. The people are saying you're lagging as well, so I'm glad it's not just me. You sound like a robot and you're frozen for me, so. This is great. Oh, hey guys! It's just me. Hello, everyone. I am now taking over Katie's Readings channel. This is my turf now. It has been claimed. How are y'all? I know we've had you've been here for 40 minutes, but now it's just me. And I've got to fill the awkward silence that might, you know? I hope y'all are well. I hope you've been enjoying the discussion. Oh, she's back.
Sorry, the internet at my house has been awful this morning.
You're back. You're back in full. We're good. I don't know what you were saying.
I don't remember what I was going to say either.
Someone said, where's the comment?
He has become one with the robot.
One with the robot.
Got that right. But I'm here.
I was doing some major smack talking while you were gone.
Unsurprising. I'll watch it back later. Watching you.
Oh my goodness. I don't remember what you're saying. Oh, Marcus and the ghosts. There was no explanation about why Zach was tied to his brother and not in the waiting place.
Yeah, I feel like they could have had an augur come in and explain that somehow. They're all knowing, or a djinn or whatever.
Yeah.
Explain something, but they were just it's happening. You'll just have to believe me on this.
Yeah, that's definitely a loose thread that I don't think is going to be tied in the next book because they've got too many other things to worry about. So it would have been nice to have some sort of explanation.
I would have even taken a brief explanation.
Yeah.
It's a little something.
Speaking of side characters, how do I feel about Harper? He's kind of grown on me, I'm not going to lie.
I really like this thing he has going on with Helene. I think it'll be really... I'm wait, they're kind of cute. I've lost interest in Laia and Elias. I don't care about them anymore. Literally, their whole relationship, I'm eh. But Helene and Harper, I'm oh shit.
I love how they're delving into it too because it fits Helene's character so perfectly where she has these moments of vulnerability and then she puts her walls back up. But Harper understanding and rolling with the punches, sure, he's still being come on.
Yeah.
But I love their dynamic so much. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised because originally with Harper, I already thought he was an interesting character in the beginning because, he was spying for the commander. And I was like, where are we going with this? And then psych, he wasn't actually with the commander. And then psych, he's Elias's half-brother. It was whoa.
There's so many things.
It became interesting so quickly.
Interesting character. And I love the dynamic that he has with Helene. Even not in a relationship way. Even before that was hinted at. I was oh, this is kind of interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lexi asks, "Does it confirm that his brother was actually haunting him and not Marcus just feeling guilty for killing him?" I definitely think Zach was actually haunting him as a ghost because they went to the waiting place together when they were passed on.
I think it might have been referenced by like one of the magical beings at some point that there was like confirmed a ghost. I just don't think there was anything else about it.
Fair enough.
Have Elias
Has Elias found out that him and Harper are brothers if he has that one over my head? No.
I don't think so.
That was not explored because was it Helene? Was Harper dying at some point?
He was at one point.
Yeah, and it was mentioned that like Elias never got to meet his half brother, and Elias doesn't know, but then Elias is now no longer really himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, another storyline that needs to be tied up. There's so many plot threads. I feel like maybe more should have started being solved in the third book.
Yeah.
Or maybe there should have been an extra book at the end because I'm worried it's going to be messy.
Yeah, I'm worried it's going to be messy too. Because like the more we talk about it, the more I'm like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot.
There are a lot of things.
Oh yeah, that has no conclusion yet.
Yeah, so I think it'll be an interesting one. I think it'll be a good discussion when we do read it, though, because I feel like we'll have a lot of thoughts on it.
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense for Helene to have a love story with Elias's brother because of their backstory. Absolutely, and I think it adds like an extra layer of resistance because she was in love with Elias. So then having feelings for his brother, it's like...
Honestly, I respect the hustle. Like, she can't have one of them. She's like, I'm just going to move on to his brother. I'm like, okay, respect. Please. Get it, girl.
Oh my gosh, the pain when the library caught fire. How could you burn such a wonderful place? I hated that scene. That like physically hurt me. I can't even.
I wish we would have gotten like a little more. Like, did we go into the library at all? I don't even remember. It wasn't substantial enough.
We showed up to the library as it was burning, but just the thought of these old sacred texts that cannot be replicated. I feel like so many like. Hello, English. So many fantasy books do this where they like burn massive libraries of great knowledge, and every time it hurts because I'm like, that's erasing history.
Yeah.
Stop
well,
erasing
I wish we
history.
would have like been able to see them go into the library before it started burning down, obviously.
Yeah.
But
the next book has less than 550 pages.
Guys, I'm scared.
I'm worried. I'm so worried.
I'm scared.
We've been enjoying our series read. I wanted to end on a high note.
I feel like it will end on a high note. Or like a bittersweet note, at least.
Hopefully.
Which I would take. I feel like that would make sense for this series.
Do you think the series would work well as a movie? I think it would work well as a TV series.
I think you'd have, if you wanted to make these into movies, I feel like you'd have to cut a lot of stuff.
Oh, well, yes.
I think aesthetically, they could do it really well. But like, plot-wise, I don't know.
Yeah. I think they could condense a lot of it down. Like, combine books 1 and 2, not make the first book last as long, and focus more on, like, the second book about, like, rescuing Darren. And I think if they, like, change the order of some things, it might work. But
yeah,
there's a lot that goes on in these books.
Someone said I personally think it's too jumpy for a movie. I agree. I feel like, especially with the way that it's structured, I feel like they'd have to like completely restructure the book because it like jumps back and forth between all the points of view. So I feel like a TV show would probably work better.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I think the aesthetic would be nice, but I don't think it ever will be. I think it had its moment.
I don't think it's
2018, but
I feel like the time has passed.
The time has passed.
Which is unfortunate because I'd like to watch it. But there are a lot of things that I like to see get adapted that will never get adapted.
I mean, yeah. Well.
Right now, I'm just holding out for like a Brandon Sanderson adaptation. That's all I want in my life.
I'm honestly kind of aghast that one has not happened yet. Like, he is one of the like most selling authors in the world.
Yeah.
Someone surely has to have movie rights already. Like, surely he sold them.
I feel like it's gonna happen. It'll probably be a while, but I feel like it will happen.
I think it's probably best that they did wait, though, because, like, where technology is, like, the graphic effects, the
Yeah.
FX, whatever. Oh my gosh, I can't today. My goodness. I think they'll be better with today's technology.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, we're kind of like getting away from talking about the book, but so we're gonna pivot in a second here. But someone said, Katie, are you excited for the Good Girls Guide to Murder show coming out in July? Absolutely, I'm so excited. I have no clue what streaming platform it's gonna be on, but I'll be there because I think the cast looks great and I'm so excited.
I might actually watch that because I wanted to read the series like ages ago, but maybe I'll enjoy it as a TV series versus like
it's a fun series. If you like Five Survive, right?
I mean, I was stressed the entire time, but sure.
Well, Good Girls Guide to Murder is less stressful because it's not really like a thriller.
Well, I watched your entire. Didn't you do like a spoiler of the entire series?
I did.
Yeah, I watched that, so I know what goes down in it.
Oh, that's true.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll pivot back to what we were talking about. See, I've read the 4th book as well because I couldn't wait, and boy, am I looking forward to the discussion next month. No, I'm scared. Don't say that. I don't want to know.
I hope it'll be. I mean, we always have a good discussion regardless. Like, even if it's bad, even if it's good, I feel like we'll have things to say.
A lot to say. Yeah.
A lot to say.
Mm-hmm. Is that all we have to say?
A lot to say. Do we have anything else to say?
This one. I think someone said interesting to see the Marshall's class system a bit better with the plebeians and the gens. I still don't understand the class system, honestly. I feel like it's not explained well enough for me.
I feel like the world, as expansive as it is, just wasn't set up in an easy to digest way.
Yeah.
Because I'm still confused too.
Yeah, like sometimes when they say like there's like different like last names or something.
Yes, the different families and who's important and
like,
who's siding with who.
I think it's all based on like it's like Roman inspired, I think, but I'm like, I don't know anything about Roman class systems either. So this is unhelpful.
That doesn't help.
Someone said they're doing a Good Girls Guide to Murder adaptation, but no Brando Sando. Shameful. I think it makes a lot of sense. A Good Girls Guide to Murder was a TikTok sensation. So, but I'm excited because I did really like the series.
I can't with how people like describe, like it's always the blips in the book. TikTok sensation, TikTok phenomenon.
It's fine.
Oh my goodness. Do you have any recommendations to get into Brando Sando? Because I did not like the book we read by him a while ago. Didn't like Warbreaker.
Normally, Warbreaker is what I recommend to people.
I was about to say, wait.
I think honestly, Mistborn is probably the best place to start with Brandon Sanderson. Yeah. It's like the original trilogy. It's iconic in fantasy at this point. It's also just really good. The magic system's super cool. The characters are great.
Love me, Vin.
You should try Mistborn.
Absolutely. And if you don't like Mistborn, you're hopeless. Brandon Sanderson is not for you.
Read Stormlight. It's really long, but it's really like it's not super complex or anything. It's just a little intimidating. You could read Tress.
I was gonna recommend Tress, but it's so different from his typical like works in his series. Tress
isn't my favorite. It's not what I would recommend to start with.
It's my favorite book of last year.
It still pains me that I didn't really enjoy Tress that much.
Next thing you know, you're going to be reading Yumi, and you're going to be like, ooh, I didn't really like that one.
If I don't like Yumi, I'm going to cry. I've adjusted my expectations. I just need to like it a little bit.
I loved Yumi. I was so hesitant at first because of comparing it to Tress, and I love Tress so much. But once I got over my comparisons, I was like, wait a minute. I really love this one. It's not like a new favorite, but it was so fun.
See, Brandon has done some updated lists on his recommendations, and Tress, Mistborn, and Warbreaker. He got that from me.
We know. We are in sync with Brando Sando himself.
We're like this. We're besties. He has no clue I exist. But
I call the man Brando Sando, okay?
I will never call him by such a casual name. Although I think my least favorite one is people that call him Brandy Sandy. I'm like, if you call him Brandy Sandy, no shade. I just don't think I could do it.
All the shade from me, though. Coming from the girl that calls him Brando Sando, but I don't even want to speak that. That was awful.
No, say it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we are getting off on a tangent here.
Anyway, any final thoughts for the gates?
Any final thoughts?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Hold that peace. Or speak now. Alrighty. I think this was a wonderful discussion.
Yeah, I feel like this was pretty good, guys.
We covered most bases of...
Amazing in the chat.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
guys really keep this going.
I have loved all of our discussions for this series so far, so brings me a lot of joy.
I feel like we've had our best book club discussions about this series.
Absolutely. Hit after hit.
And it's really all thanks to you guys. Like me and Cass, we have some thoughts, but you guys bring all the good thoughts.
All the good thoughts. You know, you help us remember character names that we constantly forget. Like Mira.
Mira, yes.
It's in the noggin now.
I'm going to try and not read the next book the night before the live stream. I believe in you, Sancha.
We try that every single month.
Hey, I didn't do that this month. I read it a couple days ago.
As did I. You actually read it before me, but still close to the date. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I feel like it's better to read them like kind of close to the date.
Yeah.
But not like night before type vibe.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any friends coming up? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, we might do some like over the summer maybe.
Yeah.
But for now, probably
schedules, we're busy, but there will be a Cass and Katie video coming out.
There will indeed. I'm so excited.
I'm going to visit Katie in April, so be prepared for that chaos.
It's going to be stunning.
It's going to be stunning. We're excited about that. But we will let y'all go. Thank you so much for joining us this lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in to the live. We hope that you
watch this later.
Our discussion about Reaper at the Gates.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
I will announce the next book's date soon.